Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Saturday, September 20th, 2014, around 8:30 in the evening. It's dark out, and it's going to be kind of a normal night for normal temperatures around this time of year. Upper 50s. Tomorrow we're going to shoot up to the 80s. The last day of summer, then fall's going to hit, and we'll be kind of a little bit above average, like in the 70s and stuff, which is pretty good for this time of year. But sooner or later, we're going to get hit with a lot of cold weather, and the leaves will be starting to change soon rather than later. Not too many news items to report. Only 18 more days to the NHL season, and also the NHL preseason starts tomorrow, and there'll be so many games a night on the NHL network in the United States and Canada. The NBCSN does not carry any preseason games, which is a kind of surprise, in my humble opinion. But most of the games that the NHL network will do, they won't produce any of them, so they have to rely on the regional sports networks in the United States and Canada. And also, only 8 more days into this Red Sox season's over. I hope they win some games just to get on to something to build momentum for next year. And my third and final video blog of the night is my personality profile, and it's about Michael Felger, who is a Boston sports radio talk show host. He used to write and sports, and he also is on television on Comcast Sportsnet New England. Michael Felger was born and grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He went to school at Boston University, graduated in 1992. Then he took an internship at the Boston Herald newspaper, which is the second biggest newspaper in Boston. And he was there for several years as kind of writing about the sports. He became a beat writer for the Boston Bruins for 2 years, from 1997 through 1999, and then he went to covering the Patriots beat from 1999 to 2008, and this is when the time that Michael Felger became popular. He guest hosted on WEI Sports Radio as a frequent guest on several shows like The Big Show with the Big O, Glenn Ordway, and The A-Team with Dale Arnold and Eddie Andelman, and other shows. And he was saying some stuff about the Patriots, the Bruins, and the Red Sox and the Celtics on there from time to time, sometimes of negative comments about them, even though he's covering the teams. In 2005, Michael Felger got his own radio talk show in Boston on the old ESPN 890, and he hosted an afternoon drive talk show for about 3 years, but they did not get any ratings for the station, and he left the station in like 2008 to go back to WEI, and he started to write for their website, WEI.com, and then he filled in for time to time on the shows. And also, this is around the time that Michael Felger migrated to television on Comcast Sportsnet. He hosted a couple of Patriots shows, the Patriots pre-game show and the post-game show on Comcast Sportsnet and stuff. And he also was one of the main hosts of Sports Tonight on Comcast Sportsnet, and he always around this time always talks about kind of like a little bit negative stuff about Boston teams, especially the Patriots, that they're doing good, but they could get better, and also about the Bruins, like the Bruins don't match up good with Montreal, or this is a big test for such and such player in a big game. And in 2009, in August, Michael Felger left WEI.com to go to the new sports radio station in Boston, the Sports Hub 98.5 FM, WBZ FM, and to host an afternoon drive show from 2 to 6 p.m. with former Boston Herald and Boston Globe Red Sox writer Tony Maserati, and they've been real popular with the with the listeners in Boston radio. They beat WEI, the Big Show, with the Big O for several years. In fact, it knocked Glenn Ordway to leave WEI in 2013 because the Felger and Maserati's popularity went way up for the show with their insights and stuff, and like people kind of don't really, even though the insights with Felger and Maserati were good, Felger still like talks a little negative about the team still, especially the Bruins, Celtics, and certain players. A lot of the fans say Felger sucks and this and that. And Felger like hosts a Bruins show on Comcast Sportsnet. It's pretty good, and he sometimes cheers the Bruins, but other times he just talks smack about them when they're on a bad spell, or especially when they're playing against the Montreal Canadiens. He says that this is going to be a big test. The Bruins do not match up against Montreal and stuff like that. Sometimes those negative comments from Felger makes him disliked, but he's kind of a character in my opinion, and you don't see that too much in the world of sports talk radio these days. It's a driven-based character who's passionate about the sports teams in Boston. He'll talk good about them when they're winning, but if they are going in a tough spell or they have to be on the spot, then he kind of criticizes them and like talks negative about them. And Michael Felger is married to Fox 25 news anchor part-time. She's a part-time news anchor is Sarah Underwood, and they've been married for many years. They have 2 daughters together, Emma and Tess, and they've been married for over like 10 years or so, and that's pretty good that they're still married. And that's about it on Michael Felger, and I'll be back tomorrow for at least 3 to 6 more video blogs. My next video blog tomorrow will be my continuation series of the top 10 list of everything and anything, and it will be about the 10 greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time. And Monday I have the top 10 coaches of in NBA history. Now I'm gonna mix in like other stuff like the NBA. This will be the first top 10 list of the NBA on my continuation series of this, but the top 10 list might be going maybe away for a couple of days and rotate other stuff. And then the 2 other blogs I won't tell you about unless if you're my Facebook friends, and I'm going to tell you what it is. But look for, in the near future, more of these video blogs. There's going to be one about Julie Broughton, Local News 6 weekend weather anchor. There's going to be one about Janelle Tobin. There's going to be one about Dee Patel. There's going to be one about Heidi Pratt. There's going to be one about the rock group Kana. There's going to be one about the Positive Place for Kids TV show on BATV. There's going to be one about the 2014-2015 UMass Lowell men's ice hockey team preview. There'll be one about why the Red Sox had a disappointing season. There's going to be one about star Austin McManfield. There was going to be one about JR's infamous heel turn in 1996, and so many others, including October 1st is my 2014-2015 NHL preview video blog. And don't forget, if any of your Facebook friends and YouTube followers want to send me a personal shout out, just private message me and I'll shout it out. I'm not going to be making any shout outs to anybody without you telling me. Good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. See you tomorrow.